Hi guys, in this video we are going to learn how you can do a very simple formatting of your graphs and tables, how you can make use of all those edited figures and can paste it in the Word documents. These techniques are very useful if you are writing your thesis or probably if you are doing editing for your research paper. So we will learn all those graph editing using MS Office 2019 version. It may so happen that the version that you're using is not probably 2019, and in that case, the option may look a little bit different. But if you are following this technique completely, if you're following every step carefully, any version that you're using, you should be able to apply that very comfortably. So let us learn this process. So what you see on the screen on this database, we are going to build up some graphs and then we are going to do some simple formatting. Now, as I said that we are already doing this exercise in MS Office 2019 version. So this is kind of the value that you will generate different types of values, but what is more important is how we are going to format it. So just for some very simple formatting, first you see this is not in the regular format. So first we will make sure that it is in no fill condition, and for this we will just do a little bit of formatting so that in the tabular format when we are pasting it in the Word document, it should look good. So to do that, certain things, first you can see there are some borders. So first we will remove those borders. We can select this as a no border. Now you have seen that all the border has been removed. Now one another important thing, that whenever you are pasting any or using any table, check the decimal point. If it is not important, do not put many decimal point because it will not give any meaning to the data that you're putting, right? So you're putting data so that it has some meaning, right? So for this, you can see there are multiple decimal point here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to reduce the decimal point so that it becomes easy for the audience to read it, right? So now after I have reduced the decimal point here, I'm going to make it centrally aligned, and then I'm going to put a outside border here. I have put an outside border here, right? So now after I have put it, I will convert it to Times New Romans, because most of the cases whenever you're writing your thesis or writing any original research article, this is typically the format it has been recommended. So Times New Romans in the font size 12. So this is how the table looks like. So if you want to use this table, you can just simply do copy and then you can open a Word document and can do a simple paste. Whenever you're doing it, any table that you're using it is very important that you put a caption for every table. So to do that, for example, before the table appears, the caption should be there, right? So to do that, what you can do, you can simply write table 1 and then you can do it. But there is a better way of doing it. Instead of you typing, what you can do, you can go to the reference section and then you can go to this insert caption option. When you're going there, you will see probably the default setting is going to be figure. What you can do, you can use this drop down box here. You can check equation or you can check figure or tables. Since we are dealing with table, so we will select the table. When you are selecting the table, automatically it is going to take number 1, right? Then just put some caption. Let's say summary of cracking parameters, right? So once I put it, then I put an enter and then I do copy paste. When I do the pasting, I can see this table appearing. Now some formatting that I have to do most of the times when you're using your thesis, you have to make sure that it is in Times New Romans, and most of the cases it is font 12, whichever font that you're using, you can anyway check it. Now while doing it, you can see that this is not completely in black color. So it is very important that you change this color to black also. Otherwise, when you are going to print it, this is not going to look good, because if it is not completely dark, it is going to be hazy. It will be very difficult for you to read, right? So this is how you can change it. And another thing, whenever we are doing, we typically centrally align it, and then table also we use this centrally aligned option and then we make it centrally aligned. So this is your first table, right? Let's say you want to put another table here. So to do that, we will apply the same method. We will go to the reference section. We will go to the caption. Now automatically you can see here table 2. It starts with table 2. Since in this document you have already used table 1, automatically it is detecting that the new number is going to be table 2. So here, let's say you want to put like summary of mix data. Okay. If you are putting it, then again you have to do the same amount of formatting. But once you have done this formatting, you can just simply select it, go to the home option, go to the format painting option, and if you just select it, then everything is going to be as you have formatted earlier. It's going to take the earlier format, right? And then if you want to paste another table, you can do the same thing. You can select it, and this is how you slowly build up the tables and figures. So for the table, always the caption comes before the table. As you can see, this is your main table, and before that, this is the table caption that has appeared, right? So this is how you can very simply do the formatting of the table and paste it in the Word document. This is very, very simple. Now we will do formatting and we will plot the graph, and then we will do the editing. So when we are doing it, let's say we are going to develop the graph between this and this. This being your x-axis and this being your y-axis. So once we do it, first select this, then go to insert option. Then if you come here and click here, there are multiple options. Whenever you're not clicking, you are just putting your cursor, you can see there are different options that is shaping up here, right? So in this, we will select this option, the first option, which is scatter plot. After we select it, we will add a trend line. So to do that, the default option, this is how it is going to appear. Now, if you're using a different version, probably slightly different features, you will observe it, but most of the time you are going to deal with this kind of feature. Don't worry if you're not finding this type of format. I will show you how you can change everything and bring it to the very uniform feature. So first that we will do, we will remove this chart title, and when we are doing it, you can observe it. It had a little bit of space here. So I want to completely utilize this option. I do not need any chart title here. Since I'm going to plot this graph, I'm going to take it in the Word documents. In my Word documents, there will be always a caption. So here I do not need any chart title. So first, when I'm removing it, you can see that I'm utilizing a little bit of space here, right? Now, important thing, for every graph, we need to have x-axis and y-axis, right? So if I just click here and I can click axis title, and then here also it is giving me option primary and secondary. If I'm just clicking option, I can find out the axis title here. In both the cases, in x-axis and y-axis, I can see the title. Now in my x-axis, let's say it is J1C. As I can see, oh, this is y-axis. So this is, let's say this is K1C, right? And in your axis, this is your x-axis. This is your JIC. So let's put JIC here, right? Now, once you have put it, let's see certain things more here. Now, in this x-axis, first I will centrally place it. Let's say this is centrally placed, and then I will expand it a little bit more. And on the both side, I will expand this, and I'll try to make this curve rectangle, because not rectangle, I'll try to make it as a square, right? So approximately, this is there is no hard and fast rule that you have to make a square, but whenever you're making it, it looks mostly better, right? So again, it depends on the kind of scale that you're dealing with, but you can keep this in mind. Try to have a square shaped graph. It will give a better understanding about the scaling, right? Now, let's go to the next step. Now here you see in my x-axis, the interval is from 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. If you want to change this interval, you can just simply right click, left click on this, and then do a right click, go to the format axis. After you go to the format axis, you can see there are a lot of numbers that is shaping up. Now, once you're clicking it, you can see here there are multiple options here, right? So when you are clicking here, this is what you are going to find out. The minimum is 0. That means it is starting from this point 0. And 50, you see this is highest point. This maximum point is 50 here. So this number is appearing here. Now coming to the major, like you see here, major is 10. That means this interval is going to be 10. Now if you want to change it for any reason, let's say you want to do it 5. If you just type 5, this is going to do fine. Now if I click outside, you will see that now the division here, the difference here is 10. Once I click it, you see the difference has come in terms of 5, right? Now, depending on your need, you can change the scale. For this purpose, we will just change it back to the old format. That is, we will take the same one that we have used before. That is, we will take the interval 10. Now, this is what we had been dealing with. Now, you see, we do not need this point, decimal point. Decimal point, after that, we are having 2 points. So what we are going to do, we are going to remove these 2 points because this is not necessary. So to do that, you click on this axis, you see, you click on this axis and then right click on that, go to the format axis. After that, make sure that you are in this tab because there are 4 options here. Make sure that you are in this option. Then you scroll down and come to the last option, which is number. In this number, you see the decimal point is 2. That means after the decimal, there are going to be 2 decimal points. So instead of 2, if I put 0, you will see that the decimal point will be gone. So if I'm clicking outside, you see the decimal point has gone, right? I'll do the same exercise here. I will click here, then put a right click, go to the format axis, scroll here, come to the option number. Here it was number 1 because here you see decimal point 1 you have. So here if you make a click and then if you put a 0, you'll see that all the decimal point here will vanish. See, all the decimal point has gone. Now I have formatted the axis number. Now importantly for all those things, we want all those axis, title, all those text in Times New Romans. So I select this and I write Times New Romans. I again do the same exercise. We click here and then we go to this font style. Here I write Times New Romans. Once I do that, the font style actually changes. I want it to look a little bit bigger. So the default option is 9. So instead of 9, we are going to use 12 font. And here also I'm going to use the same. Instead of 9, I will use the font size 12. The same thing I can do it here. This is also not in Times New Romans. You can see that it is in Calibri. So I will change it to Times New Romans. And here also I will change it to the same formatting. Times New Romans with obviously 12 font, right? Now, if you observe, this is not a completely black, right? So we will make sure that this looks dark black. So we go here and we go here, then we select this color. That is completely black. You see, now you will be able to understand the difference between this black and this color. And here we select it. Again, we do the same exercise. We go here and we do the black color selection. So once we do it, you can see this color now looks dark black. So we again centrally place it. Now this is a little bit of formatting that we have already done. Now what we are going to do, we are going to add a trend line here. Now when we are adding a trend line, the simple way to do it is simply click on this data point, put a right click, add a trend line. Once you add a trend line, you can see that our trend line has been added. And in this trend line, you can see it is not a continuous line. You can see there are dotted line in a very small gap. So what we are going to change it? We are going to change it to a completely continuous line. Now let's see how we can do it. So once it is made, click outside. And if you remove it, this is going to go away. If you want to change this trend line color, just click on the trend line and then right click on it, go to the format trend line, and then this option will show up. There are different options that will show up. You can see that there are these 3 options are there. Now we will first come to the line. So this is under the first tab. This is the line. You can see there are multiple options. Here this is line, no line, solid line, gradient line, automatic line. So in the automatic line, they have taken the color of this. Right? You can see this color and this color is same. So what you're going to do, you're going to change this color to black. Now you can see once I have selected black, the color of this has become black. Now still I have not got a continuous line. So when I want a continuous line, I can select here. By default, it is selected. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select a solid line here. Once I select the solid line, you can see the solid line has been plotted here, right? So I remove it. So you can see I have already plotted the solid line. Now this line is in black and this lines, this small points, these are black, blue in color. This is not a dark blue, but this is blue in color. So what we're going to do it, we're going to change this color, right? Again, how to do it? We select this point. If you just click on this point and do a right click, go to the format setting and then come to this first option. In this option, you see there are 2 divisions, line and marker. So this time we are going to work on the marker because these dots are the marker. I go to the marker. In the marker, there are different things. See, in the marker option, there are automatic, none, built-in. So if I select none, all those points that have been shown in the color, that has gone. You see, there is no color. There's no points that you can see. Now to change it, if you want to change the shape, you can do it. You can go to this option, then go to the marker and come to the marker option. The automatic has been selected. Previously, when I selected none, all those dot has actually vanished. If I just click built in, and here from I can choose different option. Let's say I want to pick this round. Instead of round, I can pick actually this kind of shape. Let's say this is a square shape, right? So different shape also that we can select from this. So again, we started from this. I have done the Ctrl Z so that I come back to the earlier position, and from there I can change it. So again, I'll come to the marker, and if I come to the marker option, whichever option that you want to check, in this case, I'm okay with the round. So I'll go ahead with round. Let's say the round is a little bit smaller. You can change it. You can increase the size. As you can see, I am increasing the size. The round shape is also getting changed, right? So I want to keep it at, let's say, this size at 5. 5 is good for me. And then I come to the fill. Now I have a point with which color I want to fill this, that I have to select. So once I click it, I again come to this option, come to the marker, and then I have to select the color. When I'm selecting the color, let's say I have selected black color, right? So this is solid fill, black I'm selecting. So this is what it is. Now, if you increase it, you will see something interesting. It is black color, but the border is your blue color. So we want to change the border also. How to do this change? Again, we'll do the same thing. Select this option and then go to the we'll come to this option, go to the marker option next, and then slowly we will select border. So this is what option that we have already worked with. We have selected fill color, marker option. We have selected what type of size that you are dealing with, what type of shape that you are going to deal with, what type of color. Instead of this color, if you want to go ahead with blue color, that also you can do it. Whichever color that you need, you can select it, right? So this is your black color. Now, after you get the black color, I want to change the border. Let's say I can change it to black. So if I do a solid line, that means I have to check black, or some other option is you can just simply remove this border line. If I just do the no border line, that means there will be no border. So previously I have seen a border here, bluish border. That border has gone. So I have done formatting little bit. Now my colors is set. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to add, see, when all those grid line up the same color, it is not properly giving an idea, or this graph is not looking that good. So to do it little bit better, I select here and go to the format option. And after I go to the format option, let's go to the shape outline, this option, shape outline. And from there, if I just select the black color, let's see, once I select the black color, this and this color has been turned to black, right? So I just take you back. This was my initial level, right? And when I have gone to, when I clicked inside this graph and gone to the format and come to the shape outline, this side and this side, I have the dark black color. Next, I want to put a black color here. So once I click here, then if I go to the format and if I go to the click to the color that I want, let's say I want black color. So I get a black color here. Now you see, this side is black, this side is black, this side is black, but this side is not. So to do the same thing, we'll repeat this. We'll click on this, go to the format and click the color that you want. Now you see, all the four sides has been put a border black color. It's looking a little bit better, right? Now I want to add the equation. Like when I set the train line, I will certainly get train line, right? So once I go to the format train line, I want the equation. I want to see the equation on R square. To do that, I'll just simply click display the equation and display the R square, right? If I just click it, it is going to show up like. As we've already said that all the things that we are going to do, we are making sure that everything is in uniform and consistent Times New Romans at a 12 form. So we'll do the same thing here. This Times New Romans here, it is 12, right? So once I do it, it is not black in color. We have to again change the color to the black. We come to this home option and then we select the black color. So once we select the black color, you can see that this color is there. Now, one issue is there here. You can see the grid line beneath that, right? So what we want to do it, we want to remove this grid line here. So when I'm reading this, I do not want any grid line to come in between the text. So to do that, what I do, I click on this and then go to the format and go to the shape field and select the white color. Once I select the white color, you see the white color is there. It is not going to let the grid line come in between the text. Let's say you do not want white color. You can change the color to any other color. Let's say you want to change it to this color. So this is how it will look like, right? This is one option is to fill the color. Let's say I want to fill the color with this, and I want a small border also. So to add a border, you can click this. You can click this and then go to the format and then click shape outline. And once you do it, you can get a outline. So this is how it will look like, right? Now, this is the graph that you have developed. Now, there is still a little bit of correction that you can do. This axis is not in completely black color. I have made it in black color. Again, I have clicked here. I have also made sure that this is in a black color, right? Once all those things are done, you see, if I click here and go to the format, I will make sure completely outside there is no outline. That means if I do it, you see, previously there was an outline, but I have removed those outline. Previously it was like this. You can see there is a line here, right? There is a boundary line of this. You can see. So to remove it, I click here. I go to the format and then I go to the shape outline and then I select no outline. Once I do it, I simply click here, do Ctrl C. That means you are copying it and then open the Word file. Where do you want to paste it? Let's say you want to paste it. Now don't do Ctrl V. If you do a Ctrl V, the quality will be distorted. Instead of that, what do? You come here in the home option. Here you will find option named paste. There is a drop down. In the drop down, you will see the paste spatial. You go to the paste spatial. After that, you see picture enhanced meta file. If you click here and then click OK, this graph is going to be pasted in a very high quality. You can see this. You can extend it. So another thing is you always try to enlarge it or make it shorter from the corner. That will not distort the quality. So using this, I have plotted. Now you can see the quality is much better, much better. If you simply do a copy paste, the quality will not be that good. Now let's say in this graph, I want to add one more column, one more series. How do we do it? So to understand what is the existing chart, if I go to, let's say, if I just go to here and go to select data, and after that, this is my series 1. If I just do the edit, I can see that my x-axis for this graph was this. That means this is my graph, and in my y-axis, this was my y-axis, right? Now this x and y with which I have plotted this graph, I want to add, say x-axis remains same, my y-axis is not this, my y-axis is this. How to do it? We simply click in between the graph and then go and select data, and I will add another series. So let's say we will call it series 2, and in the series 2, my x-axis is going to be this, and my y-axis, instead of KIC, I want to select this one, right? So once I do it, you see there is another set of data that has appeared. Now I will simply remove it here, and so that I can read this other set. Now once I see it, this is what color you see. This is in the red. Let's say I do not want that to in red. So what do? I simply click it, go to the format data set, go to the option here, this option, go to the marker. Now in the marker, let's say I select fill color. I want it to be filled with, let's say, dark blue color. Out of this, let's say this is my dark blue color. So I pick this color, and I do not want any border line, and I want the line. So line is okay. I just want to reduce the size of this. So instead of 5, let's say I do it at 4. So this is stay lower than this number. So once I have all those things formatted, then I simply click it and then add trend line. Now when I'm adding the trend line, you have seen that earlier also we have got the dotted line. How to do the formatting? You have already known it. So go to the trend line formatting, go to this option, and in this option now we are working with the line. In this line, we will select the color that I have selected for this rounds. So this is the color, and then I will select the dash type. In this case, this is my dash type. So now you can see I've got the form line here. Now I want to see this equation here, right? The equation of this line also, because for this black, I have got this equation here, and for this blue, I want another equation. So to do that, I can click in this format trend line, go to this format trendline option and then select display equation chart and display R square. Once I do it, I get to see another set of equation. Now how to differentiate? Since I have done it in a black color is for this color. Now since this is a new line which is blue color, I will change the line color to blue. This is my blue color, and I will also change the formatting here so that it become uniform, right? So here, this is another line. I will do the same set of formatting. That means I will use the same field color so that it looks better. I come here and then let's say we pick this color. No, not this color, probably another color. Let's select bluish shade of this. Let's say select bluish shade, and then let's put a outline. So now this graph is ready. Now in this graph, if you want to replace certain things, you can do it at your own convenience and whatever you want. Now this graph looks all right. So what I have to do, I have to copy this, click it, so Ctrl C. After that, you come to the Word document and then you paste this figure in NS metaphor. Once you put it, this file is going to look like this. Now let's say I want this to put side by side. How to do it? So to do it, first I will reduce the size, and there is a enter that I have provided. So I put a backspace to trim that line. Now I will resize it so that it looks uniform. So this is the two lines that I have it, and I will put a simple, this is my A, and I go put a space, and then I put a B. So once I do it, let's do it in Times New Romans, both A and B that I have put it is in 12 font, and then I'll put a caption because all the figure takes caption after the figure appears, right? So to do that, I will simply go to the reference. I'll follow the same process, but in this time we will not select the table. We will select the figure option. Now when I select the figure option, you can see that this is one. So we will say that fracture properties. Then I'll put A, that is KIC, and then we can see B, that is, let's say, model. So once I clicked it, my caption is ready. I have to do a little bit of formatting here also. I put it in a centrally aligned and then select Times New Romans with 12 font. Then I will change the italics forms. Now this is ready for me. So you can see this is how table and figure you can simply format. There are many more advanced techniques to do it to make it more attractive, but this is a bare minimum thing that you must use it when you're using or plotting any graph and pasting it in Word documents. I hope that gives you a good understanding, and if you follow this step very carefully, you should be able to replicate the things that you have already stated. That's all for today. Thank you for watching.